Back row ministry of the world permit. Mr. Martin coming back at you live and direct. Okay. I'm gonna let y'all put this together using common sense. 10 days ago, Donald Trump, the president, wanted to build this ballroom and use certain funds to do it. I think he put some of his funds in, but he was getting funds from the government to build his ballroom. So 10 days ago, a judge told Trump that he could not claim that building this ballroom was necessary for national security. That was the story 10 days ago. That was the story 10 days ago. So after a federal judge has again ordered President Donald Trump to pause construction of a massive new ballroom in the White House, rejecting the president's disingenuous bid to circumvent an earlier ruling against the project by claiming that it is needed to proceed for national security reasons. That's where we left off with this story 10 years ago. And we know that Trump has been pushing to build this glorious golden ballroom, yada, 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 pushing. 10 years later, well, 10 days later, we talk about 10 days ago that took place. We have this mysterious shooting at the White House press dinner, or the correspondence dinner. 10 days later, this shooting takes place. And the shooter apparently got grabbed. Of course, we knew it was going to be some person of color. His name is Cole Allen. He's 31. Remember, 31 is the 11th prime number. So, we're 10 days after this situation where the ballroom couldn't be built, and on day 11, they catch Cole Allen. Well, day 10, they catch Cole Allen and then say his name on day 11. Now, he's from Torrance, California. And apparently he runs into this White House correspondence dinner, which has been going on for a long time. And the way that security is, I'm going to be honest with you, you cannot run up in the White House correspondence dinner. Shit, to get to the second layer of security, you got to make it through the first layer. So this is what they do. They put out this stuff to people who are stupid, people who don't ask questions to those who work these events, people who've never worked these events. Any type of event like this, you'll have layers on top of layers of security. There's not one layer of security. So at the front door, you got security. Outside, you got security. Inside, you got security. You might have to get through 3 to 4 different layers of security. Why? Because the president and his family is there. We have senators there. We have congressmen there. So we got various layers of security you have to get through just to get into the event. Just to get into. It's not a concert where you go through one set of security and then you're in. It don't work like that. You're going through multiple sets of security. Even after you make it through the first set, you got to make it through the second set. So they're saying at the Washington Hilton Hotel, a place that has mastered presidential security, that this guy went through or only faced one set of security, meaning that he was able to come into the hotel with all these guns and just run past this set of security. Nobody saw these guns, so all this security, police, everything, no one is alert of what's going on in this building. Remember, the president is in this building, so heightened awareness is going on for the security. They're watching everybody. Johnny picking up paper is being watched. Remember now, if somebody come in there with a bomb and blow up the whole thing, that'll be over. So you got people watching for that. So you're trying to tell us that this guy gets through 3 sets of security. He makes it through the first 2 and just jets in the building with all these guns and nearly gets to the president. And he doesn't get shot. Now, mind you, this guy would have got shot the minute they saw them guns. But he doesn't get shot. He just jets through them. They're able to grab him. He fires off a shot. They're able to grab him and tackle him to the ground. Then we see him somehow, he's stripped. He's got no shirt on. Of course, he's a person of color. It'll come out that he's Iranian or something because they have to put that little part in that the Iranians are trying to kill Trump. You know, they got to boost it up. But we're right at this situation where Trump himself says, "Oh, see, this is why we need the ballroom because of a situation like this." There's nothing left to say about what this event was. This was a staged event. Remember, I said they got 3 sets of security, not to mention the security that roves the hotel, constant rovers. You won't even see the security. Johnny picking up paper could be security. You would not even know. That's the depths of security that are put together in these type of events. But the media wants you to think that they got one set of security. It's like you're going to the club or a concert. You just can go up to that one set, show your ID, and run through. No. You ain't getting to no White House correspondent dinner with one set of security. The whole thing is fudge pudge. It's BS. It's BS. And this is how they play people. Dude, start asking some of these folks who work security. I work security on military installations. We have multiple sets of security. Even if you get to the first set of security, you still got to make it through other sets of security. Hodgepodge, BS. This is all about a ballroom and getting people or manipulating them to think, see, this is why we need the ballroom. And I bet by Monday, this same judge will say, okay, y'all can build the ballroom. No one's going to question this story. No one's going to question it. All right, let me go back to something happened. All right. But this is where he is. So he's 31 years old from Torrance, California. He was able to get through all this security to get to the Secret Service agent, which he shot. Meaning he got through the police officers who supposed to be doing all their wave of security to get all the way to Secret Service. Secret Service is the third set of security. So what was the police doing? Just, hey, how you doing? Come on in with all these guns. Come on, man. What's the dude used to say on Monday Night Football? Come on, man. This is one of these come on, man moments. So Torrance, they give you Torrance, California. We're going to go through the numbers we got. We're going to add Torrance. Put Torrance in here. All right. So let's look at the vibrations we got going on in this story. Torrance is 94, 40, 122, which is not prime, but you know, we definitely want to make sure we check our primes. Back to our history. And 50. 94, make sure 94 is not prime in here. All right, 94 is not prime, okay. So we get Torrance. Remember now, we at war with Iran, so we got to put Iran in there. Iran 42 the nigger number, man. So I'm sorry to say it that way. Trying to remove stuff popping up, and I don't want it to pop up. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to. All right, there we go. We got so much that goes on this page now. It's not the same gematria that it used to be. Very hard to search gematria. Very hard. It's not the same way it used to be. I can't even get it to slide back and forth. It's so bad. All right, so we got shooter 100, shooter 37, which is a 12 prime, 37 to 12 prime, like we talk about prime numbers. Shooters also 89 and 35. And the big numbers we want to go to is Trump. So Trump 88, of course, everybody knows that. Trump 25, and then Trump 47. So remember, this whole Iranian situation is about this 47 years of Iran and America going through this back and forth. The Ayatollah was in charge for 47 years, the old Ayatollah. And now we have the New World Order in Iran, which is Russia, which is China. That's going to be a new world order in that part of Asia and West Asia, and then the Euro-Asian coalition, the Spanish people like this getting together, creating that Euro-Asian. Right now, America's about to be at the bottom of the totem pole, and it's because of stunts like this that really make us look ridiculous. You think the world is not looking and saying, so they got one set of security, and anybody can just run in there and gun up the press and gun up the president. I mean, we look like buffoons. And these stories make us look like buffoons. They really make us look stupid. But Trump, of course, is 47. We talk about the 47 years of Iran being under control of the last Ayatollah who got killed. Iran has a power structure. Iran has leadership. They have tribal broken leadership where everybody pretty much knows what they're supposed to be doing. They do have one diplomat who works the diplomatic side. That's why they're not shooting at anybody right now. So when you hear this, well, there's no diplomacy or this or that, they had people who do diplomacy. They had people who focus on the military side. They got people who focus on what's going on inside of these cities in Iran. So Iran is one of those societies that's very well managed. So when one person falls, next man up. They're very next man up oriented. That's how they survived for 5,000 years. But 47. Ballroom is 88 because it's Trump's ballroom. Remember, Trump 88. And then ballroom is 47. That's the energy between Trump and his ballroom. Ballroom is 47. The dude who's supposed to be this shooter, Cole Allen. Cole Allen, 79. 79 is the 22nd prime number because 79 is prime. So it's the 22nd prime number, what we call a master number. 79, 22, 11 are what we call master numbers. Very powerful numbers to the checkerboard boys. But Cole Allen, who's probably a checkerboard boy, 79. Cole Allen also 47. That ties him into the Iran ritual. That ties him into the ballroom ritual. That ties him into Trump. That's their energies go together. So anytime they have these rituals or these events, the numbers must match. The energy must match for them to pull this off. Our job as we decode these events and use gematria, the science of gematria, to get behind the event. What we're trying to do, we see the event, we use their reporting against them because their reporting is them communicating to each other, trying to say, hey, this is what we're trying to do. So you got to read through the manipulation. Most people read the news line and they don't read through the manipulation. They don't think with common sense. Some of them have never done these jobs before. So if you've never been in policing, you've never done security, you've never been in the military, you've never been fire or EMT, all this stuff, you don't know what goes on at these scenes or how these things are set up, the differences between security at different situations. They know, but their job is to play you like the fool because you don't know. So they'll make it like, yeah, you can just run through and you can come in with all these guns and nobody shoot the shit out of you. No. He wouldn't have made it through the front door. They would have saw him coming in the front door when he had a big-ass coat on and he got through the first set of security, which is always some form of metal detector. That's always the first form of security because you got the president in there. So he just went through the metal detector, beep, 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 with all these guns. Come on, man. That's a come on, man moment. But Cole Allen, this so-called shooter, is 47, which ties him into the real reason for this correspondence dinner almost shooting was the ballroom, which 10 days ago, Trump was told he could not use and not pawn it off as needed for national security. It's needed for national security today, thanks to Cole Allen, thanks to the rigged and staged run up and through all the security shooting. And I'm going to call it what it is. I'm not going to be afraid to call it what it is because I'm not stupid and I know security. I'm not stupid, and I know security. And anybody who's been to a White House Correspondents' Dinner, ask some of those colleagues. Some of y'all know some of these people who's been to these dinners, done security at these dinners, works at the damn hotel. And let's pull up the hotel, too. We left the hotel out. So let's go to this hotel. So Trump was golf, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to get the name. Okay, so it's the Washington Hilton Hotel. So Hilton, remember Hilton, Paris Hilton? They own that hotel. So those are Trump's boys. The Hiltons have been known to Trump for a long period of time. So they have no problem setting up a nice little staged event for Donald Trump. So Hilton, 33, checkerboard boys, and they definitely tell on themselves with their name. This took place in Washington. And we know Washington is the land of 50. Washington 50. We'll tie that into what we're doing in a second. And Washington Hilton is 82. So we go back to our gematria. We see Washington Hilton is 80 and 82. Remember, Torrance is 50. Torrance, California is 50. Washington is 50. So that's our energy, tiny, so-called place that your shooter comes from. And Hilton, of course, 33, checkerboard boys and girls. So we know those are Trump's Conrads, the Hilton family, Paris Hilton, all them folks. So we know they have no problem helping Don get his ballroom through. Because now, the judge who said it wasn't necessary, by Monday, Trump will be talking about him like a dog, and we need this for national security, and yada, 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 which is a bunch of BS. But he got what he wanted because it's going to get signed in and that ballroom would get built. But my question is this going to backfire on Trump? Was this the move that he shouldn't have made for those that have been paying attention to this ballroom situation? Will things come out about this shooter that aren't going to make sense, which I think they are? Because he's saying, well, this guy was posted up all this time and this yada, 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 and he just decided to just make the mad dash through the security and get through 3 waves of security. Okay. All right. But this is the stuff that they want you to believe. Oh, we got to add Correspondents' Dinner. We didn't add that. Get everything. I'm going to make sure we get every part of. Man, this site used to be so much better. And he commercialized it. So correspondence. So Correspondents' Dinner. We gotta call it what it is. 105. 105 is the 14th triangular number. That's a triangular number. So 249. Make sure we don't miss anything. All right. 291 in reverse. Make sure we don't miss anything. And 111. So 111 is time. So 111 goes into time. When we talk about time, 111 is time. So the Correspondents' Dinner. So make sure we get everything. No vibrations that I see with correspondence dinner in the story. But I think we pulled out enough. But we know that this was tied into getting that ballroom. We know that situation happened um, 10 days prior to the shooting. So we know that that was the move for this situation. He was told that it's not about national security. He made it about national security. And the sad thing is, nobody's going to challenge this story. They're going to just go with the flow. It's just that easy to kill presidents and kings, and you just run through one layer of security, and you can get to these people. Bunch of baloney, but they'll try to sell it, and a lot of people that will buy it. See how Hilton is 30, Iran is 30. Just picked up on that. Hilton 30, Iran 30. So kind of tying it back into this war, because most of this is going to have something to do with the war. He'll make this Coal Island Iranian, black Iranian, he'll be all sorts of things before the end of the day. But definitely something we want to look at moving forward, how they put this little story together here to try to fool the masses. Mr. Moxley, Back Row Ministry, peace and hair.